Hello everyone, welcome back to Fight Dash channel. Mike Tyson-Jake Paul second press conference. Tyson promises first round KO as Paul vows to shock the world. In an electrifying lead up to one of the most anticipated boxing matches of the summer, Jake Paul and Mike Tyson faced off once again at the second leg of their press conference. With tensions high and anticipation building, both fighters made bold statements and engaged in verbal jabs that promises a thrilling bout. The atmosphere was charged from the moment the fighters took the stage. Amanda Serrano, heralded as the pride of Puerto Rico, was the first to step into the spotlight, preparing for her 50th professional fight amidst whistles from the crowd. Katie Taylor, who won by decision against Serrano 2 years ago at Madison Square Garden, was introduced next, gearing up for her 19th strength title fight. Jake Paul followed, greeted by a chorus of boos. True to form, Paul played the provocator, calling the crowd dumb hillbillies as they showered him with expletive chants. The mood shifted dramatically when Mike Tyson took the stage, receiving a warm and enthusiastic reception, a stark contrast to Paul's. Adding to the excitement, the host announced that UFC star Darren Till would make his boxing debut against Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. on the undercard of the July 20th fight, promising an electrifying lineup for the event. The press conference moved into the questions and answers segment with reporters and fans. Jake Paul was asked how he plans to stay motivated, to which he responded, "Drinking Celsius," while Tyson brusquely dismissed the question, saying, "I can't answer these stupid questions, I'm ready to fight." When asked how the fight would go against the Disney kid, Tyson didn't hold back. "It was good while it lasted for Jake. You are fat, Jake." Paul unperturbed promised, "You are going to be seeing a lot of pictures of it, Mike." Tyson answered if Jake Paul could become a world champion. Tyson was asked if he believes Jake Paul could ever become a world champion boxer. While acknowledging Paul's improvement, he confidently stated, "He is improved a lot, but he is not gonna beat me." Regarding selling out Jerry World, Tyson nonchalantly said, "I was born to do this. This is nothing new to me." Tyson also responded to rumors about the fight being scripted, urging fans to watch the fight to see for themselves. Paul chimed in, joining the crowd's chant, "Fuck Jake Paul," and called the crowd dumb for thinking the fight was scripted. Amanda Serrano shared her feelings about the fight, admitting she gets nervous before every fight, but emphasized her desire to have fun. Both fighters were asked about their confidence going into the match. Tyson asked rhetorically, "Picture me losing to him?" Paul countered with, "You are going to be seeing a lot of pictures of it, Mike." When questioned about his age and whether he was too old to fight, Tyson dismissively replied, "Who is saying that? I don't hear anyone saying that. Tell me who." The reporters chose not to respond, leaving Tyson's challenge hanging in the air. As the conference drew to a close, the fighters left no doubt about their readiness and determination. When asked what round he plans to knock out Jake Paul, Tyson confidently declared, "In the first round, the first punch." Jake Paul concluded with a statement on his mental preparation. "Putting the work in the gym and putting my body through the trenches gets me ready for this. I cannot wait." The stage is set for an unforgettable clash between the Sicilian legend and the brash newcomer. As the summer showdown approaches, fans are eagerly anticipating Who will come out on top in this battle of eras? If there is a script for the promotion of the Mike Tyson-Jake Paul fight, it flipped on Tuesday. The boxers finally took the gloves off, metaphorically, that is, as they exchanged insults rather than smiles. 3 days after a playful face-off between the fighters fueled speculation the fight is rigged, the tone was noticeably darker and more contentious when Tyson, 57, and Paul, 27, appeared at a press conference in Arlington. Unlike New York, the site of the kickoff a press conference Monday, the crowd helped set the tone when it greeted Paul with boos and broke into profane chants of Jake Paul. Paul chanted along and Tyson joined him too during an event to hype the heavyweight bout, which is scheduled to be held July 20th. The fighters, prompted by MC Brian Caster, addressed speculation their heavyweight boxing match is rigged. Well, clearly, they don't have a high IQ in here, but that's a federal crime, Paul said. Tyson was asked to respond to speculation. The script called for him to lose to Paul, who fought his second pro fight on the undercard of Tyson's exhibition against Roy Jones Jr. in 2020. "Well, I just come to the fight and you will see," Tyson said. "Listen, I started Jake off and I'm going to finish him." The crowd cheered and Paul says at the moment, "Hey, I hope you all keep the same energy when I knock this old man out," Paul barked. Tyson seemed genuinely irritated by the antics of Paul and briefly walked off at the end of the press conference during the ceremonial face-off, this time including no smiles and no lauders. Why did Buster Douglas' name come up? One exchange between the fighters involved Paul's weight. Paul said he is gaining weight for the fight and looks noticeably bigger. Or, as Tyson put it, he is fat. "Hey, Buster Douglas was fat," Paul shot back, referring to the boxer who in 1919 knocked out Tyson in one of the biggest upsets in sports history and handed Tyson the first loss of his career. "Am I right?" said Tyson. "I know, but you are not Buster Douglas." I'm better, Paul said. "And I'm going to end you quicker than he did, and you will remember that forever. You started me off? I appreciate that, Mike. You're a good fighter, like a father loves his son, but I must discipline you. But you are going down, old man." Mike Tyson, unimpressed with Jake Paul, KO-less. Paul has won by knockout in 6 of those fights. Don't count Tyson among those impressed. He can't even knock out Nate Diaz, Tyson said, referring to Nick Diaz's brother. Nate, the UFC star, Paul beat by unanimous decision. Nick Diaz is 40 pounds. How's he going to knock me out? Tyson also referred to Anderson Silva, the UFC legend, Paul beating by unanimous decision. He could not even knock out these little guys. How is he going to knock me out? Tyson said, also noting that Paul failed to knock out Tommy Fury, who beat Paul by split decision. Who did he knock out? Tyson asked of Paul. He never knocked out a real man, come on, responded Paul. Look, he's right. I can't stand here and say I did those things, but what I promise to the people is that only July 20th, Mike will be put to sleep and he will feel my power. And I will go down as the man who put Tyson to sleep for the last time, Jake Paul said. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel.